I'm really excited. The workshop with Matti Sulanto will be again next year. I will tell all about it and I will have links for you to sign up. Hi, it's Peter here. I'm doing this from my new studio. I will make a video about it later. But now this is all about the upcoming workshop next August 2023. The workshop we had last August was a real success. And I will quote Robert's feedback from that workshop. And let me quote Robert. I enjoyed every minute of the workshop I attended in 2022. Matti and Peter are born teachers when it comes to stimulating the pupils to get the most out of their talents. Not by giving a lot of theory, but helping you as you go through the process by yourself. The course is not about pixels, but about becoming more aware of your style and refining it. The format is so that we also see your fellow students' style and development. I also learned from that. I now feel that I am a more consistent amateur who looks around better to shoot a story. I think Robert's feedback tells a lot. I think it has all the things that we wanted them, the participants, to feel and to learn the way we did it. I think we did it quite a good job, even though I'm saying it myself. But like you heard what Robert said, I think it has all the core things that we wanted. And I'm really, really happy that we got this feedback. And it was not about pixels or corner sharpness. It was all about the story, the image, and the personal development in that storytelling. Every participant had their story by Monday or on Tuesday morning, because of course, it's not that easy to find a story in a totally different city. So Monday was more about exploring and starting to think what the story could be. And Tuesday was the first real day to really start making the story, because Monday was first, of course, we got together in the venue where we had this, or the conference room we had this workshop, and the next one will be exactly the same place because I think the location was real good. So we looked at Monday, we looked at people's photographs that they have sent in advance and talked about their photography and what they wanted to do. And then they had some free time to photograph and start the project, and looked around Helsinki to figure out what to photograph and what their story will be. And then on Tuesday morning, we watched or looked at all the images that people took on Monday. And then we started discussing about the story. And by then, everybody had an idea. And then after the lecture on Tuesday, they really started to photograph their stories. Our workshop is a lot of hard work. And as I said, it's also about fun, but the fun part a bit later. Like Robert said, it's all about your development as a photographer. We don't want you to be like us or photograph like us. That's not our intention. The intention is to photograph the way you do it already and refine and develop on that. And I think that's the main thing. So everyone had their own, assignment for each day, which was linked to the story that they were telling with their images. And like Robert said in his feedback, that also the discussions that we had between the students when they saw each other's work and they were pitching in. So the story that everybody made was a kind of like a cooperation, even though, of course, the photographer himself or herself was the one that made the final decisions. We all pitched in. And of course, Matti and me had one-on-one sessions with each of the photographers to look at their work and talk about the assignment. And also, like I said, it was fun. We had 3 meals together and, of course, a few beers every now and then, and discussed a lot about photography and, of course, about life too, because photography is part of life. I know you wanted to see some footage from the workshop, but to be honest, we didn't film that much, just a few clips, because we thought that it's not proper to concentrate on filming when we're teaching, because we're concentrating 100% on the students. Also, I know you want to see some work that they did. And here is an example from Annika, who was a nature photographer and had really never, ever photographed people in public. But she wanted to push herself, and she made this set of images of people. And remember, she's never photographed people in public. And I think when you look at these images, they're stunning images, stunning street photography. And that's the beauty of the workshop. This was not her story. she had a different story. But these images we wanted to pick because this is a really good example of when you are stepping out of your comfort zone, photographing alone in the nature, and all of a sudden you're in, amongst people and needed to photograph that. And it took a lot of courage for her to do this because she's never done this before. And I think she managed really, really good. And then when you're making a story, it's a different thing than just a good individual images. In a story, you might have mediocre images, even bad photographs, but if they fit to the story and add up to the whole story that you're telling, then they are good images. But you have to remember that as a standalone image, it might not be very powerful. But when you put it into a story, it could be turned into a really, really strong image that can kind of be a bridge between two images. And here is Andrew's set of images. And this is a really interesting thing because he changed the story in a kind of like a last minute. And he was a bit struggling first. He made really stunning images. But of course, storytelling was something new to him this way, like it was for everyone. And I think he managed to do a really, really strong story. And of course, there are some elements of the first story that he had on Thursday. And then all of a sudden, on Thursday night, he started changing the story and took a few images for the new one and presented us this stunning set of images. And I think this is really a strong image. And of course, we discussed about individual images when they made these, and of course, color or black and white. And I think all that added up to Andrew's thing. But we always have to remember that the final decision was, of course, the photographer's decision. And they did not always follow our guidance. They made their own decisions, which I think is a good thing. It's also part of a learning thing to be confident enough to make your own decisions and do not follow the crowd in that sense, because usually if you follow the crowd, you get mediocre results. But pushing yourself, you will be a lot better. And of course, more unique. There will be a few things that we fine-tune on the schedule and the program, because of course there were a few things that some said that it was a bit too hard or too busy schedule, so we're losing it up a little bit, so there will be a bit more free time for everyone to photograph, and we will ditch a few locations and replace them with better ones. And we will still have the dinners and we will have the time together. And if you're interested in participating next August, go to the description of this video and check the details out and sign up. And here is Matti's video about the new workshop that we have next year. But hey, thanks for watching and bye for now.